Oh, wow. Thank you. Thank you. Sawadika. Thank you. Well, good
สวัสดีค่ะ
morning to all my friends in Thailand and all over the world. And thank you for your patience. And I know that a lot of people are trying to get on and just, that's why I think we hope we learn from this as part of our business. We always have to do rehearsal. Okay. So anyway, I'm glad that I'm back on, and I have always been on. And this is the key. I was always ready. So we encountered some technical difficulties, but I want to thank you all for your patience. I know that we're dealing with different time zone, but with technology, we're all here, and so I'm grateful. And Lynn, thank you for having me on this call tonight. Or it's Sunday evening here in Los Angeles, and so for those of you that do not know me or have not met me, my name is Kim. I live in Los Angeles. I started Jeunesse about 9 years ago. Today, yeah, almost 9 years ago, in my kitchen table, not at this home, another home. And so it has been an incredible journey 9 years ago. I still recall that 9 years as if it was yesterday. There's total five of us around my round kitchen table, and we all had a dream of becoming successful in life and doing something with our lives. And so I tell you, from that 9 years ago until now, it has been an incredible, incredible journey. And with that, I remember a couple of years ago, my first trip for Jeunesse in Thailand, those humble beginnings. I remember doing a meeting at Tanet's house with a group of entrepreneurs. They were so excited. And look at what you guys have right here now in Thailand, and for that matter, throughout the world. And so I think, to make the call more effective, Lynn, let's do, maybe perhaps you can be a host and ask me questions. That way we can make it more meaningful to our callers, because I know some of the call right now it's morning time in Thailand, but it may be evening time and midnight somewhere in different parts of the world. So let's make it more effective, and perhaps let's do it that way. Is that all right?
Yes, yes. So you want me to ask the question and you can answer all along the interview and the talking, right?
Sure, sure. I'm here. I mean, we all take time for this, so I'm here for all of you. And so uh, let's get it going. So yeah, please.
And my question is, how can you build your strong team, and how can you begin with such a very strong way to come all the way to be a presidential diamond? So what is your step all along? And what is the beginning to here? Yeah.
I
So,
see.
yeah.
Well, I gotta write a book about this. But I think it all start, how strong, or I think ultimately it has to start with yourself. Now, this journey, it can be a one person gig. And as I look back to my journey of the last 9 years of how we started to where we are here today, ultimately, I think the number one thing is that we have to find our core partners. As I look back, I'm very blessed from day one. I have four other people that believed in me. I have four other people that have the shared vision of wanting to do something with our lives, and that share the same work ethics. And so, no matter how great an opportunity or how hardworking of a person you are, it will be a very challenging ride until you find those core people, because this business is not a lone person business. It's with a group of people. And so I would say that as an entrepreneur in this platform, the number one thing is to find your core. I would say find your core 5 or 6 people to start working the business. And this is the key. It sounds so easy to find a few people that share the same vision. But the magic of that is that don't stop until you find your core. Now, I started with four other friends in Los Angeles, and because of that, they introduced me to some people in Taiwan, in Hong Kong, then in Indonesia, And every country, as I look back 9 years ago, that the group became so strong is that those leaders in those respective countries, they all started with a handful of people. I remember Hong Kong started with 4 people. In Taiwan, started with 4 or 5 people. And so that's the magic. You got to find a group of people that want the same thing and that are willing to do the same thing. And so it sounds really simple, but the hardest part is that, most people, before they even find the first one, then they stop working. So I think the strength, and then the other thing, getting back to you, is that the strength has to come from within. It is easy to say to find those 4 or 5 or 6 people, but it's another thing when you can't seem to find those people yet. And so I knew what I wanted, and I was able to leverage the people around me. I would say this, Lynn, and I'm sure you have built a pretty massive organization yourself as well. That strength comes in with the people around you. Now, if you haven't found the right one, don't give up. There's got to be something deep inside you that want to do something. As I look back, if I were to identify that something, it wasn't business. It was the ability to listen to my heart and the ability to listen to your heart. It is there. So I hope that, sometimes we've gone this long journey of 9 years. Some of the things we talk about for a new beginner, it may or may not make sense, but I hope that I'm making a little bit of sense to you. To you, I'm sure it does, but to our audiences. So I hope I answer your question.
That is very, very nice question, and it's very nice answer. Anyway, I also want to ask you more about when a lot of people, they are doing a very good job at the beginning, but in the long run, when they face some trouble, they tend to stop, or they tend to be give up. So what do you think that how do we keep people, how do we keep them not to give up on this business?
That is a loaded question, Lynn. How do we keep people from giving up? We can't. We cannot. I mean, I wish there's a better way of answering it. How do we keep people from giving up? Ultimately, that control of wanting to pursue something that's within that person. We can't control people. I can't, make them not give up. Ultimately, it is that right to pursue or to let go, to give up, is within that individual. However, the things that we can do as a friend, as a sponsor, as an upline, is to encourage them to plug in. Now, what do I mean by plugging in? I hope it's not too discouraging about we can't stop people from quitting, okay? People do quit. But we all go through those days, that there are days that we wanted to quit. There are those that we don't feel like doing something. So that is just human nature. But how do we encourage people to go forward? I would attribute a lot that to the events, to meetings and to events and to gathering. What do I mean by that? An event such as today, the conference call, minus the technical difficulties, but sometimes with these kind of gathering, it is not too much of what was said, but rather it is the camaraderie, the getting together, just we as humans of coming together, listening to one another's story. They feel, I am okay. It is okay to go through challenges. It is okay for things not on a smooth sail. So when they feel like, I am not alone. I think that is one of the utmost thing we can do as a sponsor, is to, or as a quote unquote leader, is to encourage them to plug into events. What is an event? Anything is an event. A conference call as such, it is an event. We have upcoming in September, the expo in Bangkok. That is a huge event. So when the team start plugging into these events, anything that promotes positive energy, anything that promotes learning, anything that promotes, that inspire people, those are the events to plug into. And so the upcoming expo in Thailand, I am thrilled and I'm excited to be a part of it in September. And so I think when you get people to participate in these events, that's one of the glues to glue people into something that hopefully will inspire them, not only in terms of knowledge, but it's not much of what was said, but it is just that surrounding, that feeling of energy, that camaraderie. So I would say that what's encouraging, what would help encourage the team would be to participate and to join, to plug in to the events. You know, I'm sure in Thailand, you guys have, you know, local meetings, you have Zoom conference calls, you have all these stuff. That is what I would say, if I look back to my 20 years of being in this industry, if there's one thing that I've done well, is I've done well in promoting events and participating in the events.
Very good answer. Thank you so much, Kim. Right now, I have somebody that maybe they think that they have a choice. Okay, so when they want to join some MLM, then they have a choice that which company should they join. So what makes Jeunesse different from other company, and what we should recommend Jeunesse? What is our difference? What is our point to be a great business? Yeah.
I see. Well, I don't know what companies they're looking at, so I cannot comment on other companies. But what I could talk about why Jeunesse is, I think our track record speaks for itself. The lives that we're able to touch and changed, I think speaks for itself, our track record. And so as far as I never like to compare other opportunity or other company with ours, because I believe every opportunity, they are unique in their own ways. It's like choosing a partner, you know, why we choose our spouse, why they choose certain spouses. So there's a thing for different people. But as far as what I could speak about Jeunesse is that, look at me. I'm a housewife, okay? I started this business 9 years ago. I could tell you this, I feel healthier. I am happier. I do financial a lot better than I was 9 years ago. Not only me, but people like yourself in Thailand. All over. Look at all the people that's on the chat all over the world, that lives are being changed. So I think that speaks for itself. But as far as a trend standpoint, Jeunesse, I think, had come to a point of where society, humanity, technology is like a convergence, all coming together, that we were able to provide a platform that able to connect lives from all over. And thanks to the internet, really, and social media, it has created this timing of readiness for all of us to participate. Well, for those who choose to participate, Jeunesse is a phenomenal product, an incredible business platform, and an incredible track record to show. For those of people that are looking for a solid business opportunity, after 9 years, we have worked out a lot of kinks. We're not perfect yet, but we have worked out a lot of stuff. If I still recall 9 years ago, there were some of the stuff that we had to deal with, but we no longer have to deal with that. So for people that are looking for a ship that's ready to take off, get ready for an incredible ride. Jeunesse, I hope, Lynn, it might not be the answer most people look for, but ultimately it is here. We all know, we all can feel, we all can feel that if this is the right thing for us. And so ultimately it's the people that people resonate with you. And so, I mean, like yourself, I read your story, Lynn, a quite incredible story that you have from a super wealthy family, quite successful architect, and you went on this journey and you become a successful diamond. I mean, that in itself, why you choose Jeunesse? I mean, the same thing, you know, why people from all over the world that are joining this platform. So I don't think there's anything that we could put an exact, precise word to describe that, but it is beyond words. That's felt right here. I hope I'm making sense. So yeah.
Yes, that's makes a lot of sense. And yes, you were the same. I also choose Jeunesse because Jeunesse is different, but I would love to hear your point of view though. So it's a very good answer for yourself. Yes.
Well, I could also share with you 9 years ago, when Wendy and Randy flew to Los Angeles to have lunch, and they were talking about Jeunesse. And so what, you know, so now I want you to think about this. 9 years ago, there was the product that there wasn't even any packaging yet. So during lunch at our lunch table, you know, Randy was talking about, you know, and Wendy were talking about this idea of launching Jeunesse, an anti-aging company that want to help people change their lives. You know, now think about this. If you were to ask me, well, Kim, why I chose Jeunesse, it wasn't at that time. It wasn't a very concrete, say, reserve, because reserve was unknown at that time. It wasn't numinous because it was not a known item. But what it was something about Wendy and Randy at that time that I felt that I resonate with. So that was the first step, that I trust them and I resonated with them. So that was number one thing. Then the second thing was the technology that they were talking about, the adult stem cell technology that and resveratrol, how it was in the forefront of medicine back then. My husband, who's a medical doctor, later on had research about those topics, and he goes, you know what, that is it. You need to get involved in something like that. Now, it was a combination of different angles. It was a combination of my trust for Wendy and Randy, also their track record of being able to provide a back office and a platform to build businesses throughout the world, because they have an incredible track record. So their track record, my trust for them, and my love for them, and a cutting edge technology. So it was all that in combination. Now there's a huge unknown though. The product is not known. Jeunesse was unknown. So, but it was something that was here that we felt that I decided to move forward. So 9 years later, it speaks for itself. And the reason why I'm saying this, because a lot of times, Lynn, our human minds want to put words on certain things to make it right. What makes it all right is right here. So anyway, I hope I added more to that already. So.
Oh yes, that is a great answer. And also, I have a lot of friends that you know, I am in the business part. All my friends are architects, or all my friends are business person. How do you attract those people? You know, they are having a very good life themselves, or they have a very good business themselves, but how do you attract those person into the networking business? So I want to ask your idea about this. A lot of people might want to know.
Yeah, I think network marketing is really one of the most misunderstood industry in the world. For whatever reason, but you know, times have changed. How do we attract professionals into what we do? I believe it is just, you know, Lynn, people are attracted to it not because they're network marketing. They are attracted to it not because it's Jeunesse. They are attracted to it not because of serum or reserve. They are attracted to it because of you, of who you are. And so I guess when we share with people, I mean, we have in the business people from all walks of life, professionals, homemakers, doctors, lawyers, I mean, all walks of life. I think the key thing to or the art of learning to communicate with our prospect is to, instead of trying to recruit them, like most people do, they get in the business, they're trying to get their friends into joining us, but more, instead of put that recruiting mentality aside, but more of finding out what is it that they're looking for in life. Some of my friends may have a lot of money, may be very successful, but they lack time. They don't have time freedom. So, you know, I guess there's the art of talking to your prospects, finding out from, instead of like so eager to wanting to recruit them, but you know, I would just scale back and say, you know, we're just another human being, you know, say, hey, listen, you know, I know you're very successful. I know you do really well as an architect. You know, if money is not the issue, or what, you know, or what do you want to do for the rest of your life? I mean, is architect a gig, or is there something else that interests you? So I would use questions to find out what is it they want, rather than here's a great company, you ought to join me, you know? So I would, you know, learn to ask questions, find out what is they want. Then maybe we have the solution, maybe not, you know, but that's what I would go by. Number one. Number two is that let's say, for example, Lynn, you yourself an architect, and you're from an extremely wealthy family in Thailand. So you could tell your story, why you're doing this, but we got to be willing to listen to their part first. Then you share with them, listen, you know what? I know you're very successful. So what you would do is you tell them your reason why you choose this platform. And I think that's how I've always done it. And that's what it is. Yeah.
Thank you. And how about selling? You know, a lot of people say they don't have very good skills on recruiting, but they have a very good skill on selling. So how do you recommend those people that, how do you sell when people say, okay, our product is expensive, or they have an excuse on something? So how do you recommend them to say about they have a very good skill on selling? How do they do?
Selling. You know, that's interesting. I think before I answer that question, I think let's look at the opportunity. Let's look at this whole opportunity. I am not in here to quote unquote to sell something to anyone, but rather, I think if we just pick ourselves from this mode right now, let's look at the big picture. What are we? Are we in Jeunesse to sell something? See, I have never, ever, from day one, when I joined this business, I have never, ever looked at myself at joining this to sell something, because I never look at myself as a salesperson. I look at this, now obviously we got incredible products that we share with other people, people purchase, then people purchase and become a customer. However, I'm in the business as an entrepreneur to join this business platform, but not to sell something. I think there's a little of a mindset, a little perception difference here of some people thinking about coming in and selling stuff to people. I don't. I'm in here to build a business, to build a brand within a big brand. And so, am I making sense to you? I mean, because this whole, it's really a foreign concept to me. I didn't join Jeunesse to sell anything. I saw Jeunesse as it provides an incredible platform. Let me put it this way. I do not know, I don't think Thailand has Amazon, but to our friends from different parts of the world, I use Amazon because it's such a huge thing. I mean, Amazon, let's say, for example, it's a huge platform. There are people that go online, go to this Amazon platform to purchase. There are those people that are looking for a job that go to Amazon and be a delivery driver. So they just joined the platform. So my whole concept of doing this business, I joined a platform to build a brand, to build a business, and not as a salesperson. So this is really a foreign subject, a concept to me, Lynn.
So thank you so much of that. Also, I don't like to sell either. I want to tell people about my story. Okay, so I have another question from a friend, and she said, what is the most difficulty in driving yourself every day in doing MLM? What is the most challenging things to do this business?
If I were to ask, let's say a restaurant, I think this is, okay. I think the person that asks this question need to take off, a tinted shade, like all of us wearing around. We're looking at this MLM. So we're seeing the opportunity not for what it really is. Network marketing is just as real of a business as a restaurant. So if I were to ask a restaurant owner, what's the most challenging thing running your restaurant or running your spa or running anything? It is no different than any other business. The toughest work, I would say, the work that we do, it's not physical. It is the toughest work is to face ourselves. Because in this business, and I'll tell you what is the toughest work, okay? We all have an idea or think you are got shattered. That is the toughest thing. What do I mean by that? I remember when I first got into the industry 20 some odd years ago, I was a high executive. I was a quick executive. I was a vice president for this company. And then I got unemployed. I downsized. So now I'm to my colleagues about something. Now, here I was, I had this idea of a successful executive. Now, when people reject me and they label the work that I do, the industry that I'm in, that was the toughest part because it shattered my identity of who I thought I was. So once we let go of that, and once we let go of that, I think the person that asked that question, they themselves don't have much confidence, or maybe they also have a tinted view of this industry. That's why that question came about. So what is the toughest thing? I don't know. It's like life. Every day when you get up, what is the toughest thing? Or is there such a thing? So I think that this business, to me, Lynn, it is a school of life with a compensation plan attached to it. Okay, so we get to work on ourselves and we get to grow as a human being, to learn to overcome these inner dialogues of what people think we are, how people look down, what we do, da-di-da-di-da. All those are constant mental chatterings out there that if we learn to just drop it all and say, you know what am I here to do? I am here to build a financial empire. I am here to build an international business organization. So when you are focused in that rather than all these other stuff, nothing, I mean, really, if you look back 9 years, we have challenges upon challenges if I were to look at challenges, but I don't. We have a mission of building an international business. And so that's what we focus upon and not the other side, because the mind works like this. Either you focus one side or the other. So I rather focus on the positive stuff rather than dialing in the other part of the mindset. So am I coming across okay, Lynn? I hope I'm not getting too philosophical these days.
No, not at all. You are answering very good question, very good answer. And I I also have someone that they have a difficulty in their life. They might not have a good starting. They for so to say, they don't have money. Okay, how do they want to successful in their life, but they start off not having that much money. So how do you suggest when people like that want to be successful in their life, but they don't have anything much to invest, like a business owner, they are have very less money. How do they begin? How do they start so that they can survive? So this, yeah.
There's a saying that if we keep doing whatever we've been doing and we keep getting the same results and we continue to do that, that's called insanity. Meaning if we don't make a change, nothing will change. So let's say that those people that I really want to change my life, but I don't have money to start it. I would say find a way. I don't know. I remember a couple of years ago when I first went to Thailand, and then later on I went back, I heard incredible, touching, moving stories of this gentleman that, he took his last monthly rent to put into Jeunesse because, he's about to lose his house. But, and he turned his life around. I don't know if this gentleman's still working the platform. I hope he is. But so, I've heard, I've met this individual in Indonesia. Same thing. He couldn't afford the opportunity. And he asked himself, if I don't give it a shot, I will never be able to change my circumstances. So he found a way. I don't want to give suggestions that you don't pay your rent and then go join Jeunesse. No. When someone want to change your life, they will find a way. When they are, and with that, I'll give this story, okay? And I told this story before, and I heard it from Mr. Les Brown. He told a story of there was a dog. There was a little boy that he goes to school, and every day he passed by the same porch. And then every day he passed by this porch, he saw a dog moaning and groaning every day. So finally, one day, weeks have gone by. One day he walked up to the owner of the house where he's sitting with his dog. He asked the owner, he goes, "Sir, why is your dog moaning and groaning?" And the man says, "You know why he's moaning and groaning? Because he's sitting on a rusted nail." So the little boy was surprised and said, "You know what? If he was sitting on a rusted nail, why wouldn't he just get up so it won't hurt him? So it won't hurt." The owner said, "Because it didn't hurt bad enough." So the point of that story is that when we're hurt bad enough, we'll find a way to do something. So whoever, I tell you, people, there are over the last 20 years, okay, of being involved in this industry. We've probably heard all kinds of excuses. "Oh, I really want to change my life. I really want to do this business, but I don't have time, but I don't have money, but I don't like to sell, but I don't like to anyone." You know what? It's just because they haven't, two things. One is they haven't really heard what it really is, or two, they don't want it bad enough. So when someone wants it bad enough, and I'm sure that within your organization, there are many people that have found ways to participate and that have worked on change your lives. So I think we don't have to find reason or explanation for them why or what they need to do. If they want to do something, automatically they want to do it, and not having us to say, to give them reasons or do this and do that.
Thank you so much, Kim. And I have another question about the business also. Okay, and people have secrets on how they can do the business very great. So they're wanting to know Kim's secret on building such a great business like it. What is actually your secret? Yes.
My secret: passion, hard work, and tenacity. Yeah, and heart. There's just really no secret. I am very passionate about the work that I do. And I work hard. I'm a hard worker. And I'm very consistent. And tenacity, I think that's my trade. If I want to do something, I won't quit until I get it right. Just like this conference call, the whole time I was on the Zoom, people go, Kim, turn on your mic. I'm like, no, my mic is on. So, 20 minutes after into the call, I was still on here. So tenacity, I won't give up. So I think in doing anything in life, and I hope people on this call, people will get it. And so that whatever you choose to do, love what you do and do what you love. So that secret is that. I think people could sense it. Now it's 10 o'clock at night in Los Angeles. Look at this passion. Now you got me worked up like this. I can't go to sleep tonight. So I think it's having a passion for what you do. And I absolutely love what I do. So that's my secret, passion.
Wow, that has always been my idol. You have always been my idol on doing this also. And okay, we are using a lot of your time, and I know that it has been very difficult in the beginning of this Zoom. Thank you so much for bear with us. Yes.
No worries. And I want to say this, Lynn, and I want to thank all of your team in Thailand and putting this together. And to all our audiences out there, and I appreciate your love and you hanging on at this hour. And some of you just don't give up, even 25 minutes into the call. And I want to say this to all of you, that I am no different than anyone on this call. Look at me. I'm looking right into the camera. I hope you see, I hope you feel here. The reason I am where I am here today, because of tenacity, hard work, passion, purpose. So wherever you are in your business, don't give up. If this is the platform you chose, and if it feels right to you, work it. The minute we change our mindset, we change our thought, things around us begin to change. So I hope that it's worth your wait. It certainly has been for me. I am grateful to Janice. I'm grateful to everyone that are working hard. I am truly grateful, and it humbles me as a human being. And what a blessing to be loved and to be working with people like yourself, Lynn, and to all the incredible leaders that are working hard every day. I'm grateful. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. And everybody, please give a very big hand applause to Kim Hui. Thank you so much for being with us tonight. And we are going to, send this video to a lot of our people, and we are going to translate it in Thai, because here we have a lot of people wanting to listen to you, and we need translation. But I cannot just translate in between. It's going to take a lot of time.
Yes.
So I will go ahead and translate it in Thai. Thank you so much to be with us. And is anybody here before we leave want to ask any question? We can answer the question. Can I have some question here too?
Yeah. Let's continue to a few more minutes. Yeah.
Okay. So right here in our participants, about 972 people with us here now, until now. So is there any question that people want to ask? You can raise your hand and ask your question here.
Okay. Wow, what a heart.
Yeah, and we have somebody just asked some question here. He said, how to keep the passion forever? how to keep the passion forever.
I'll tell you what, I'll see you in Thailand. I'll see you in Bangkok. I'll be in Bangkok at the expo. So I hope that I get to meet all of you in the expo, and we'll talk more in expo, how to keep that passion. I am still learning. Anyway, just love life. Love life. Just live life and love life.
Okay. Thank you very much, Kim, and good night. Have a
Good
very
night, good evening. Have an incredible week, and I'll see you in expo in Bangkok.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Good night. Good morning.
Good night. And I hope everybody having a very good chat with Kim Hui, and we are having very personal question with Kim Hui, and I believe that you will be so happy and you'll be so glad to attend today's section, because it's such a privilege to listen to something really out of her heart, out really from her heart. She just answered the question with all her heart right here.
Okay. Okay, so we will end of this meeting, yeah, because it takes about almost everyone here about 2 hours. Okay. See you in Expo.
See